This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning, guys. So yesterday, till yesterday, we seen various Git operations, right? Or you call it as a commands, or Git operations, or Azure Repo management, or source code management. So you have seen how to manage the code in terms of pulling, pushing, or staging, or stashing, okay, and then reverting, resetting, and local repositories, remote repositories, cloning, branching policies. How do you create branches, and different types of merging. So all these things you have seen it with scenarios basically. Okay, today let's go ahead and okay, most of these activities are related to developer, but you will also do merging in some cases, right? Let us say um, uh, I mean, in some cases they may ask you directly do it from the this environment, like from the administration portal. Okay, or you also need to do some configuration changes when needed. Basically, that's the reason I asked you guys to log into the DevOps portal and make some change. But you were doing some changes in the some code files, but generally you never touch code files. You will only touch the configuration files if at all required. That means updating some updating some server names or user id, password, such kind of thing. So that's the reason I shown you how you can commit the code from portal as well. Okay, but expectation from any team, or any team member, is that you guys know about it and you are the experts and you need to help them in doing all these things. Okay, let's get into some other operations. Okay, and then some administration activities what you need to do, right? Let me log into dev.azure.com. Azure. So you all know now commits, pushes, and all these things, pull request and everything. Okay, let's go to files. Here you don't need. Let's go to branches. Okay, so far you've been seeing like this, and you have many ways to search for things. I mean, branch names. I don't have hundreds of branches. That's why I don't need to use these branch names, etc. Right? Okay, and let's go here. I just want to show, yeah, history. So most of the times, you spend time in analyzing the histories as well, history of the commits as well, or history of the changes. Whatever you see is a change, right? But you basically refer to any code changes by the commit ID. You say commit, or anybody say commit. Hey, in this commit, these are the changes. And many of the times what happens, people say, hey, I committed my code, but I don't see my changes here. Okay, so that kind of complaints may come, but sometimes it might be intentional, sometimes it might be by mistake. What happens, let us say I as a developer go and do some changes in some other branch other than what where I supposed to do basically. And he says that I committed my code, but it is not reflecting uh, in the in the server or whatever it is, right? That's what they complain. So the easiest way to verify all these things is that this is a history, and you have many options as well, like you have this filter on the top right corner. You can go and search by search by the person as well, dates. Okay, between between two, yesterday and in the last 10 days, how many commits were done. Okay, and then you can, so this is the default view of your history basically. Okay, you can read this graph as well. Okay, let me go to other graph. It is not showing much differences. We made some merging etc to master branch, right? Let me go here. This is, and there is option. Okay, go here, simple history. When you say simple history, it basically show I mean, there are different ways of representing this graph basically. Okay, if it is a parent, it will only show the single line, parent. Full history means also it will show all the commits. Okay, uh, people can read it easily here. That means, hey, you started with this branch. What is this branch name? This branch name is master. Okay, so started with some code, I mean, which contains only some .gitignore files, etc., and then few project files have been added. You remember when we created a project from scratch on the Visual Studio, and we uploaded or pushed that code to this master branch, right? That's, I mean, the default comment will be add project lines. Okay, and we added some changes in the local repository and pushed those changes. You see route changes for such functionality. You can see who did it and the commit id, what time. And after that, somebody made some changes in the home controller and pushed it to this remote repository. After that, what happened? uh, a branch has been created. You can see here, and perfectly, you see, master of, you can see here, merge master of this branch with some other thing. So you will see, I mean, there is some merge happen, and you can go and see basically what is this. Okay, some you can see the details. Okay, who did and what. Okay, so this history, you can make use of this history to understand some rogue commits. And rogue commits means are some complaints. Somebody says, "Hey, I did it." Let me go back to this. Yeah, somebody says, I committed, but I don't see my changes, such kind of things. So all those things can be seen from this history. Okay, and there are different ways to show this history as well. We spend some time. Okay, it's very simple to understand. If you are having hundreds of changes like this, you may not be able to understand. When you are doing, you start it fresh, a branch. Okay, and you add one file. Okay, come and see this change, and then probably make two more commits, come and see how this graph looks like. And after that, what you do, you have another branch, merge that branch with this parent or some, I mean, any other branch via pull request. Then you see graph like this. So likewise, you do, 10, I mean, 5 6 operations, and start observing this, graph basically, how it is deviating from left or right. Blue is nothing but commit. Gray is nothing but, I mean, branching or merging basically. Okay, and then how many pull requests are here, etc. So I mean, this is one place where you can go and, audit the information or audit the history. Okay, the other one for you is, let us say, uh, you are doing release 1, release 2, release 3, right? For each release, you basically create a branch and you will move on. After 2 3 releases, you think that, hey, release 1 is stable. There should not be any further code changes in the release 1. So that's what your team member, I mean, your project manager, whoever it is, they will tell you. So you have to go and log this one. You should not allow anyone to make further commits, further changes. So the easiest way to do is, you can log this one basically. Let us say you have the release one, right? Go here and then lock it. The moment you lock it, you can see this lock symbol. That means nobody can make changes to this release one branch. Okay, you can, let me do it for anything. I already pulled many things. You can lock this one as well. Okay, now if I go to my Visual Studio and try to do something, it will not allow me, because you logged it. It is only read only. Okay, let it load. Let it load. It is taking some time to display these things. Okay, in the bottom right corner. while it is loading. So you can lock it, and you can see many other features as well, anyways, these are all things available. Other, this delete branch etc is not available for your for your contributors. It is only available for project administrators, okay, or the I mean the project collection administrator. You see those permissions, right? Okay, you can go to the branch security and you can see it. You can go to the branch security. This is what you see everywhere, right? So who can do this? Build administrators, okay, and then contributors. Most of the things are not set, bypassing policies. Policies means we apply the branch policies, right? They cannot bypass. Okay, they can only contribute. They cannot edit policies. They cannot manage permissions. They cannot remove the logs, etc. If you go to the administrators, the same policies. I mean, policies are policies for anyone, right? He cannot make contribution. He can do. He can edit the policies, enable, disable the branch policies, etc. He can manage the permissions, remove other logs. Okay, and then project collection administrators. Okay, you can see basically. Okay. This build service account, this is related to your CI pipeline basically. Okay. This we will come to know when we working on the CI pipeline and Azure Artifacts. Okay. There you will come to know advantage of this. Okay. And just now Sahul was asking, hey, what is a tag actually? Okay. Tag is nothing but, uh, it is helpful for identifying the milestone of your project, or I mean, whenever you create some branch, right? You can tag it as well. Okay, let us say there are no tags now. uh, let's say I'm giving some name. It doesn't allow spaces. Okay, so what is being created? So I created a tag on a particular commit basically, and most of the times you create tags everywhere when you're giving a pull request, right? When you create a pull request as well, you have an option to give the tags. It's kind of metadata, right? So you can see tag here. So I'll say some. This is some pull request related to some performance improvements. Okay, then I will tell everyone, right? Hey, if you are doing any performance improvements, then tag them as a perf improvement. Okay, like this. Now all those things. Okay, I did not select it. Okay, so now the tag is added. So in future, if I want to go and search by tags as well, I can come here and I can click on the tags, and it will directly take me to that related code, or related commit, etc. So that is the only purpose, but most of the times people don't use it actually, because people will always come to your commits or pushes or branches, and go and look at the history, etc. I don't see anyone is using in the recent past. Okay, but at least in the pull request, people go and put that tag actually. Since it is not mandatory, people don't try to use it. Okay, you log, we try to log it, right? So we logged manage branches, release one also we logged it, right? Release one. Okay, I checked out, means I took it to the my local repository. My Visual Studio is pointed to release one. If I go and try to make some change, right? Testing log. Let me go and Team Explorer, click on changes, and then say test. Uh, it should not allow me basically. Is it because I am an administrator? It should not allow me. It can, some one of you can do that, because I'm an administrator. Probably I'm able to do it. Release one branch. Sahul or someone. Sahul, can you try to make some change? You are just a contributor. And I'm owner of this branches as well, right? That could be the reason I'm allowed. But it should not be when I lock it actually. Hello?
Purna, I can try that tomorrow and let you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because I'm the owner, right? I logged it. It is for others, right? That's what I'm trying.
which one release branch?
Yeah,
Release
release
one.
one branch. Release one. I pointed my Visual Studio to release one and tried to make changes. It allowed me. So I'm just thinking because I'm the owner of this branch and the entire project as well, even entire org as well. I'm having full requests, full permissions.
Okay. Okay. You want me to change the code or somewhere?
Yeah. Just make some empty space or XYZ,
Yeah.
etc. And then try to commit it. You should not be allowed to make it actually. That's what I have been trying to say.
Yeah, it is not cannot be
Yeah,
updated because it is locked by Purna. That's what
yeah,
message.
exactly. Yeah. So probably you can share your screen just for a minute so that Kiran also can see it. Okay. Let me make you present. Okay. You are presented. Just show your screen for a minute. Yeah. So it is saying, right? The
Yeah.
reference release one cannot be updated because it is logged by Pune. So I'm an administrator, right? I logged it. No one can log it. Cannot.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how you can basically avoid change unnecessary or unintentional changes to any stable branches. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is a normal practice anywhere we do. I mean, when we go to a number of releases in future, okay, we will go and lock the older ones basically. Okay, let me take the share back. Okay, and there are few things, very simple things where you don't need much attention. Okay, some of the branches you write, one branch you see, this is mentioned as a default branch. Obviously when you create something, right, that will become default actually. So when we create a repository, main is the default branch that is been created, but we were not using this because master is the standard terminology in Git actually. Okay, that's the reason we created this. And
Purna,
yeah.
so when we lock a branch, it only
Hmm.
prevents changes on the branch, or it will also prevent taking code from the branch, like
No,
pull
it is
request.
read only. Lock is always read only, right? It's read only.
Oh, yeah.
Means you can take it but you can't do anything. At least people should have opportunity to see it, right, what is there. That is the lock. We are not
Okay.
hiding it. Okay. And you can set the default branch as well. Right now main is the default branch. You can set it as a default branch as well. Go to project and set as a default branch is nothing but when you try to create a branch, right? Now we see it changed to master. Okay, and when you want to you can compare the branches as well. Okay. uh, I mean you can set, I mean if somebody is trying to compare, right, it will first display the default branch for the comparison. So there just small utility kind of stuff you can see. You can compare the branches as well. Okay, you want to compare dev with master, you can compare. Okay, the files you can see left and right, side by side you can see. Okay. But I mean these are not that useful. People don't have any patience to go and compare like this, right? It's not an easy task, and if you will do it only when something drastically goes bad, but it will not be like that in this modern life. Okay, another one you need to understand is git ignore here. Whenever you add a, I mean, developer add a project from their Visual Studio using Git source control, or whenever you create a project here, you can automatically say git ignore file. Okay, what is this git ignore file? This is an important file, uh, team. So I mean, actually it became automated in the last couple of years, but if I go back to 2000, 15 16, right? This we had to create this file manually. Okay, you see, I mean, at least Visual Studio or your Azure Repos created this automatically. Okay, but we used to create it manually till 2016, etc. So what this file contains? Okay, this file basically tells your git environment what files to be pushed, what files should not be pushed. Basically, you can see the comment hash miss comment. Ignore Visual Studio temporary files, build results, files generated by popular Visual Studio add-ons. Okay, and you will see all the extensions. So whenever, okay, from Visual Studio basically commit many things, right? Uh, so let us say you will go and commit, but it is committing only the content inside these files, or if you are adding a new file. So let us say you added some new file. Just give a second. Okay, the new file is been added. When you push it, it will go to the uh, you know remote repository, right? Okay, but inside it, I mean, behind this there are many hidden files and temporary files. Many things will get added. Let us say if I go and build it. Okay, if I go and build it, first let me go to this file explorer. Okay, you see .git and .vs. Okay, and then uh, web, and then you have bin. So you have many DLLs here. Okay, when I build it, you will see more DLLs. Right, till now I did not build it. Okay, you see how many DLLs added, because your code is compiled, and once you compile the code, it will convert it to DLL, and it will be placed in the bin folder. Actually, like this, there will be many internet, I mean, temporary files, etc., will be created when you are working with Visual Studio. Okay, but you should not put all those temporary files, all these DLLs into, so I mean, source control repository. Okay, you have to keep only the code what you see here, not anything else other than this. Whatever you see in the Visual Studio only have to be in uh, I would say only to be, should be in your remote repository. Okay, not even DLLs. These DLLs should, these also should not be there in the remote repo. The reason I tell you, the reason, these are all required for you to develop the or to develop the functionality, to write the code. Okay, and when you're using these reusable components, or when you're developing, your system creates a lot of temporary files. Okay, lot of caching files. Okay, uh, if I am updating remote repository with all those caching files and temporary files from my repository, from my local to remote, so my changes will be there, and you also do updating your cache files, temporary files to the remote, and everybody's cache files and temporary files will be there, and it will create a lot of conflicts. Okay, saying that, hey, your file is not up to date, that file is not available in your local repository, etc. and that is not necessary for you, that is not required for you as a developer, right? All you need is this code what you are developing, not the temporary files. That's the reason Git provides a way to ignore the files that is not required for you in your application development or for your application to run. And that is the reason the GitIgnore file has been invented. Here you can mention it basically instruct the Visual Studio which files have to be ignored when somebody commits something. You see, any file with extension .r user should be excluded. SEO dot user, there are some caching files, okay, and some preference, and then you see debug files. So when you build the application, right, you see you get this debug folders, debug, release, etc. I can show you now here. So I have the bin folder, right? You can see the object debug. You see many temporary files added, right? These are not required. So this is the DLL created when I build my project. All my code compiled into your journeys web.dll project name, and then some pdb files. Okay, you don't need all this one. It will create a lot of L. Whenever you build application in CI pipeline, all these things can be generated. Okay, that's the reason you should not put it basically. Okay, so I talk about these things, in our CI pipeline. So it is saying, hey, exclude all the files from the debug folder, exclude all the files from public release folder. Okay. And in some cases, it could be capital D or small d. That's why it is mentioning both as well. Okay. It has all exclude everything from the bin, bin. You can see exclude everything from obj. I just shown you, right? Bin and obj. This is the bin. Okay, because these will be created, these are temporary. Okay, these will be created when you build it actually. Okay, and specific to 2005, 15 and 17, there are some cache files, etc. It is saying here, uh, if you are having any unit test files, temporary unit test files, omit them. Right now we are not using NUnit. Right now people use MS unit testing tools, but if someone uses using older one, that is also omitted. So this is intelligent. Your Visual Studio or Git taken care of all this. See how many temporary internet files, temporary files are getting created. You see, you don't even know many of these extensions as well. In fact, me also, I mean, we don't know, many things will happen in behind the scenes basically. So all those things can be mentioned here. Along with this, if you want to exclude something, you can also mention here. Let us say in your Visual Studio, people might keep some documents. Okay, let us say I know this is some bad habit from many people. Okay, they will go and you know add a folder. Let's say documentation. Okay, people go and what happened? The system path cannot find the path specified. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it is giving. Let me.
Maybe the solution need to be opened as admin.
It's. I'm just adding a folder, right? Just cannot find the path specified.
Or the solution path is not on, maybe it was on some temporary path.
Actually, let me undo this. I try to add it some file, right? Let me undo it. It will set everything. Undo. That whole file has been removed. Let me add. Don't know, some issue here, or else anywhere add some document. Let us say I will go and add uh, something, some existing item. Okay, and from desktop select something. Okay, uh, So the PPT has been added. Okay. This, I mean, I mean, many people are now educated, but some people still do this one. They will add, some documentation files as well. But I mean, this is not required for your application to run, right? This is not a code. uh, but in some cases they may need some log files, etc. Okay. So in such cases you can go and mention anywhere, you can customize it, edit it. You can say, hey, exclude uh, star dot pptx. That's it. That's how you can, enter your own as well. If you want to remove something, you can remove them as well. That, I mean, that is the advantage of GitIgnore file. uh, it will instruct the Git environment what to be committed, what not to be committed to the remote repository, so that it will avoid lot of conflicts. Okay. We used to spend 4 or 5 days, 10 days also on this GitIgnore file back, I mean, 5 6 years ago. You see, I mean, 200 entries you see, right? Whenever an issue comes, we will go and add an item there, basically, because we don't remember all these extensions. Okay. Okay. So I think I just need to mention one more thing in the pull request. When we done that pull request demo, guys, we did not see the conflicts, right? Merge conflicts as well in the pull request. Okay. Let me tell you. See, most of the times what happens, you will not see any conflict in the pull request. Let me undo this, and let me point this to my hotel search. Okay. Did I lock this one? Which one is locked?
Release one
Brand.
branch.
I locked one more as well. Try and search, right? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, hotels. I'm in hotel search. Okay. See, if you remember, I was telling some best practices to you. You have to instruct developer when they come to office every day in the morning, they have to take the latest version from their remote branch, because you never know who have made what changes on the remote branches. They have to take it every day morning. Otherwise, what happens if you take the latest version after a couple of days? What happens? There might be hundreds of changes on the remote branch. When you take it to your local branch, there will be a lot of conflicts, merge conflicts. Okay. And you will spend hours and hours by resolving those merge conflicts as well. So instruct your developer, hey, take the latest version. Also, every day when they are leaving for the day, they have to push the changes here. Of course, it should not give any compilation issues. As long as there are no compilation issues, and they done with at least some kind of good work, they can push it actually. If they keep piling their commits in their local repository without pushing to remote, again that will result into merge conflicts. Okay. So better thing, always take a latest version. But in some cases, obviously, it doesn't matter how many times you tell, still people don't take latest versions, or sometimes because of the complexity of work they are doing, they don't want to take the latest version and spend some time to avoid, merge conflicts. But that's a bad practice, basically. Whatever is the work they are doing, to avoid merge conflicts in future, they have to, I know, do, I mean, latest version every day. Okay. Now I'm going to explain the how, I mean, how do you resolve merge conflicts during the pull request as well. If I am taking latest version, pushing my code to the remote repository, and during that time if the conflicts are occurring, you know how to do it in the team explorer itself. You will get that resolve conflicts option. But what about pull request? Pull request review happens in the portal, right? Because that is where you are recording each and every activity of the reviewer, right? So let me make some change. So pull request merge conflicts. Okay, line number 15, here in default controller. line number 37 here in bundle.config. So I just want to show one. Okay, other it takes otherwise time. Okay, now I'm done with my uh, work. Let's go and changes pull request merge config. Okay, let me, I don't want to update this. Okay, either I can delete this, or I can ignore this local item. Ignore. Okay, it's been added to GitIgnore, you see. Okay, now let's go and commit. Mm, it is giving so my remote branch is having some changes. That's what it is saying. What I do, let me pull. Okay, resolve conflicts. I don't want to resolve anything. What I do, I simply take take remote or keep local. I can do anything. Commit much. Okay, since all these operations, I'm quickly doing it. Okay. Okay, now my what is the thing I did. Pull request one, right? I said take remote, right? All my local changes were gone basically. Whatever I did just now. Let me do again. Request remote pull request merge conflict. Okay, this is in 27, and then one file I'll say 37 in bundle config. Okay, go here, click on the changes, conflict demo. Now there should not be any conflicts. There is only one outgoing conflict demo. Okay, now uh, from I'll directly do some change here. Okay, in branches I want to merge it with a div actually. Okay, but that's why I'm going to create a conflict here. Okay, in which file I made here, uh, under bundle config.cs 37 app start bundle config edit. There are no 37. Oh, I have a lot of changes here, that's why. Okay, what I do, I'll make some made some changes. Okay, commit it. Okay, now let's come to pull request. I'll go and try to merge my hotel search feature branch with the with the dev branch basically. That's my parent. Okay, what I do, go to new pull request, dev is hotel search, and then to dev, give some name, pull request demo, and then add some reviewer. Okay, you can give some tag, and then create. Now you see you got a merge conflict, right? Because I just created that merge conflict. See, this is how your tags will appear. You can search by tags, etc. So What are those conflicts? You can see here. How many comment? Okay. See, but I'm not able to see anything here, right? I'm not getting any option to resolve it. And the conflict is available in the bundle.config.cs. And it is saying this file is edited in both the branches, both in dev and as well as feature branch. Okay. So then how do, I mean, I'm not getting an option, right? How do I do it? Okay. Guys, generally, I mean, this is a worst case scenario. In general, we should not have like this. If you are following, best practices like every day taking latest and every day updating, but sometimes you can have it. Okay. Now, what do people? I mean, the feature is not, completely available here in the Azure Repos. You can go and install some extension. Once you install that extension, you will get one more option here, like conflict resolution, etc. How do you install an extension? If you are a admin, you can go and browse marketplace, and you can search for pull request conflict. So from Microsoft also you have this pull request merge. Okay, there are many companies who are giving it. Looks like let's go back here and see. There are someone from Carlos, Rian, but always go by the known person basically. Okay, or the number of downloads. It is Microsoft and it is 36,000 downloads are there. Pull request merge conflict extension. So this is nothing but installing some apps in your mobile phone, right? Similarly, so these guys will give you all the documentation as well. Anyone creates extension, right? They will give all this uh, documentation. Go and install it, get it free. If it is a paid, it will automatically charge it to your account basically. So in which organization you want to install? This is a SaaS, right? I mean, you cannot simply install it in all the organizations, right? So you need to select where you want to. I want it to be in your planner. That's it. It's been installed. Proceed to organization. Go to files. You can go to pull request, right? Go to repos and then pull requests. This is the one. Okay. Now you see, once you do it, you have this conflicts option, right? And you go there. This is how, I mean, of course, this is the UI is a little cluttered. You can increase like this. Okay. So this is what you see in your Visual Studio as well, right? Left pan and right pan. You can see Kiran Hotel search, and this is on the right hand side is a dev branch. Okay. And you see the same differences, etc. Right? Okay. Sorry. Not sure why my UI is I'm not able to release that. Okay. You see the conflict. Click on next conflict. The conflict is there, line number 37. Here in the dev, the line number 37 contains pull request merge conflict demo. Okay, demo. And here in the line 37, you are having some other things. Okay, and like this, I have only one. That's why it is showing only one. And in the bottom right, and unlike in Visual Studio, it is very clean. You will not show any marker things like this auto generated by conflict extension, etc. Okay, in Visual Studio it will clearly show you with the highlights. Basically it will highlight in a different color, etc. But this extension, this is not, I mean, I'm not much comfortable, but you don't have any other option from Azure Repos portal to resolve the merge conflicts. So what you have to do when you can do the same thing. Okay, let me, there is some one more option should be coming side by side, right? Okay, Yeah, here they kept it. You can directly click on the submit merge, or this is the same option you get, right? Take the target file, take the source file, etc. Okay. I can review if I want
Can
both.
you can you click on
Yeah,
preview draft?
I did not do anything. Yeah,
So okay, we don't see anything here.
yeah. That's why side by side differences you can basically. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, it is still evolving. I mean, this is not that user friendly, but this is the only option I have basically. Okay, let me inline. I just analyzed. Okay, now where is my that
uh, you need
side
to
by side?
cancel it.
Ah, yeah, cancel preview. Yeah, so side by side pan conflict. Now you are here, right? Now one good thing these guys gave is it. This should not be included, right? This is generated by your extension, isn't it? Sorry, this is generated by your extension, less than auto generate. This should not be checked in, right? When you click on the submit much. Okay. Now if I go and submit much, it will tell you. I mean, it gives you it appears that conflict markers means these are less than are present in lines 34, 39, 44. Do you still want to submit? No, I don't want to submit. This is unnecessary lines, right? And it will give compilation errors as well. Okay. So at the uh, at this point of time, what we have to do is, we have to delete all these things. Okay. And it will show both the things in the bottom. I mean, left and right actually. I have to delete this is, I mean, this is still evolving, this one. But I don't suggest to use this, because some people will tell you that, this is extension is available, did you explore it, etc. Okay. You have to manually do this in our Visual Studio. You have, checkbox here. Hey, you want to take this, select this one, select right hand, and then it will show in the preview pane, right? It was very
Yes.
simple. But this extension is not, up to date basically. I'm just giving some demo. Okay. Submit much is saying still there are some extension, I mean, marker lines in line number 44. Cancel line number 44. Yeah, here. I have to- suggestion is, don't use it, but I'm just giving. Submit much. uh, it's been done, you can see. Okay. If I can, how do I go back? Last month when I did it, it's not like this. Let me go. There is no back button, man. Okay. I resolve. I mean, you just need to go and see it, the files basically in bundle, right? You can. This is in pull request. That's why it is still showing me. And I did not apply any policies, right? Reviewer. I mean, the requester and reviewer should not be same. I did not apply any branch policies on the dev. That's the reason I'm getting this option as well. Writing some comments, etc. Okay. But what I want to see, our pull request demo. Where is that? Here. Yeah, pull request demo conflict. Okay. But don't use this, guys. What people have to do, if there are any pull request conflicts as well, they have to come to the Visual Studio and resolve them basically. So in Team Explorer also, you have an option called pull request, right? Okay, they can say, guys, I'm getting some issue with this. I need to probably update my Visual Studio. Basically, what it has to show, it has to show me what is available here, like, my pull request, completed pull request, etc. Right? The same thing have to be shown here. You can see requested by me and assigned to me as a reviewer. I'm not seeing this because of this some error. Okay, I'll look into this, in the weekend and tell you basically why I'm getting this error. Okay, once I have it, I can do that. I'm a reviewer. I will open my pull request right in the Visual Studio and do whatever I am doing here, right, in the portal, in the Visual Studio itself. And when the merge conflicts occurs, right, it's easy for me to do that merge conflict resolution here. Okay, let me spend some time on weekend. I'll tell you why this is happening. Okay, so guys,
Uh,
that's it. I wanted to
Now,
explain.
one question.
Yeah,
How is the merge conflict is pull request different from the merge conflict when we perform a commit? Both are identical, right?
which one? Can you come again?
When we do a commit,
Hmm.
if we have some conflicts, it will be showing on the Visual Studio.
Hmm.
So similarly, when we are doing a pull request and if there are any conflicts, it will be shown on the Visual Studio. So what could be the major difference between these two?
So you have different types of merges, right? Let me say. Uh,
Yeah,
Let me
we
show you.
have four types of
You will
merge.
have merge between your local repo, okay, local repo, and then remote repository, right? This is what you generally do every day, right? You make say changes in your local repository in the laptop and push it to the remote repo, right? When there are some changes in the remote repositories by other users and you don't have it, and you also made the changes in the same line, then you will get the conflict. Then you have to resolve the conflicts. Either you take the other developer change and you keep your change as well, or you take the other developer change, you ignore yours, or you ignore the others, like that. That is a collaboration effort. The other merge conflict that comes is, between the branches, right? Between the branches,
Yeah, yes.
your child branch and then
And parent branch.
parent branch. So that is the difference. But your mode, your purpose is same, merging the code. But where you are merging code is important. Are you merging code between your local repository and the remote repository, or merging the code between your child branch and parent branch? But the purpose is same, operations are same. Okay, but when you are merging the code between different branches, you have to use the pull request. But that pull request is by default not enabled. You have to go and enable that branch using branch policy. That is how you are protecting your branches. Let us say, that's what you seen, right? Right now dev is not protected. Anyone can do anything. If you want to protect it, go to the branch policies. Then you say, hey, yeah, when you enable this, right, any changes to this dev branch, okay, or any merges to this dev branch via pull request only. No one can simply go and merge the changes from other branch to dev. That's what we did it for main as well. So this is how you can protect your branch using branch policies. Everything has to be reviewed before it comes to dev.
Okay.
Okay, so two types of merges: between repositories, remote and local; between branches, parent and child.
Okay.
Okay, hope that clears.
Yeah, yes, for now.
Yeah, so you spend your time here in branch policies and security, etc. Okay. Okay, guys, what I do, I'll work on this over weekend, and let me tell you why it is giving me. If you see the issue, right, what it is telling me. See, my Visual Studio already connected to my project, right? That's why I'm able to do all push and pull. But what this guy is saying, hey, you are not connected to your remote repository. See, I'm already connected, but it is saying connect. If I click on connect page, it is showing something. It is asking me again to connect to your project. I already connected to the project, right? You got me? Otherwise, I cannot
Yes.
do any changes.
Yes.
Okay. So that is a problem I am seeing it. Okay. Let me figure it out. Guys, go ahead and explore these things. Global, I mean, Git settings. What are there in the global? I seen it. I shown it in the earlier classes itself. Why? How we are getting that merge conflict pan left, right, etc. Because we are using Visual Studio as a merge tool and a coding tool as well. Okay.
Okay.
And you can delete the branches if you are having uh, uh, if you are having permissions, right? You can delete branches from here as well. Okay. So in a nutshell, right, whatever you can do from portal, you can do it from Visual Studio. Whatever you can do from Visual Studio, you can do from portal. Okay. The only difference is that uh, the admin will use the portal mostly, developer will use the Visual Studio mostly, but there is no restriction. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I just want to explain one more concept, but I do it later. Okay. Not the concept. There is one command called rebase, but that is not much helpful, and we don't suggest anyone to apply the rebase actually. Okay. I will do it later. Once we do this CI pipeline, right, we will have some miscellaneous classes. I'll explain that because that is nothing related to any best practices. That is another way to merge the code actually, but that will be very confusing because that command should not be used when you are merging your code with some other branch where many people are using it. Okay. That rebase is very old, but helpful, not much helpful. I will explain it later. Okay. Not much important, but
Yeah.
you can
Sure.
keep make a note of it actually. Okay. Okay, guys, that's about all Azure Repos with respect to managing code with the many commands, operations, and then branch policies and branch security. It's about who can access what, who can delete files, I mean branches, etc. And then various scenarios where you will use all this stash, uh, stash, cherry pick, and difference between fetch and pull. Okay. And then logs, tags, cloning, all these things. Okay. The important thing is the scenarios. That's what we spent a lot of time, and staging changes. Okay. All these things. Okay. So on Monday we will get into CI pipeline, because we done with the planning in Azure Boards and we done with source code management in Azure Repos. Now the coding is complete. Assume that coding is completed. The next phase is to do the CI/CD pipeline basically. CI means build, means nothing but compilation of your code and generating the artifacts. CD is nothing but deploying those artifacts into different servers so that end users can access the application. And this is the crux of your DevOps basically. Most of the people are interested in that, but along with that, I mean, learning these things also equally important. Otherwise, you cannot survive. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me for today. Any questions?
Uh, Puna, can you go to the slide once?
Yeah.
So here,
Oh, okay. Prune, right? Is that what you are
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Okay. This is nothing
No,
but
the other one is cloning. Cloning is like copying the
cloning is
existing
what
files.
downloading your code, right, for the first time from either people create a repository. I mean, the admin create a repository in the portal, right? People have to clone that to your local, right? That is one way. The other way is you directly connect your Visual Studio project to the remote repository. That's about
Okay.
cloning. Okay.
Yeah.
So that pruning is nothing but sorry, I just shown that option, I guess. Probably you might have
Yeah,
seen it. Okay.
we saw the option on Git,
Settings.
Git remote settings.
Here, prune remote branches during fetch basically. What does it mean? You delete some branch which is not required, okay, but still it will show you basically. Prune means it will purge, means it will delete completely when you delete something, okay. Let me show you that. uh, Manage branches, right? Okay,
So prune
right
remote
now.
branches when we fetch, does that mean when we fetch the data from the from the GitHub or the version
Mm,
control, the
mm.
branch will be deleted after the performance is
No,
completed?
no, no. Prune will come after delete. Means what I mean to say, when you delete something, you will still see these here basically. When the prune applies, it will delete from here as well. Okay,
Okay,
let me show
so
you.
what you mean is emptying some content from the recycle bin.
Exactly. It's, yeah, it is nothing but recycling. Then you are right. Exact word. Let me go here. Quickly do that. Okay.
Okay,
So I mean, actually, what happened? I mean, these things, right? People used to do it from command prompt. That's the reason they need to remember each and everything. But the things are changed, right? We are paying a lot of money for these tools. You don't need to go to command prompt and do it. It is a productivity issue. Go to branches. Now let me delete some one of these things. Let us say I delete try and search release one. Okay, since I have permission, delete branch. Try and search I deleting. Done, right?
yeah,
Try and
yes,
search is done. Okay. Now if I come here, even if I refresh, still it here, right?
yes.
Try and search release one. Now how do you refresh generally? You have to, I mean, uh, sorry, this is the one, right? You have to pull it basically. Where is that? When you pull or fetch, now you observe the basically fetching remote commits, right? Now it is gone. Is it?
Okay,
It's gone, right? Now, if you go to your team explorer, right? Your settings. If it is not true, right? If it is unset or false, it will not do that basically. You getting me?
okay,
Let me make it, false. Update. You need to update, right? Update. Okay. Now, if we go to branches, sorry. If you go to branches, let me delete this hotfix train search. Okay.
okay,
Basically, always guys keep hotfix in the starting or a feature in the starting. Okay. I mean, it's a naming convention as I told you. Hotfix train search. Okay. Let me go and this one. This is locked. That's okay. I will delete it. Done. It's gone.
yeah,
Try and search release one, right? Now let's go and fetch. Is it gone? No, right? Try and
no,
search release. It is still there. Okay.
okay,
Basically, what is happening? Prune means it will, when you do the fetch, right? It will go and validate with the remote repositories as well. Hey, I am having these branches. Are these branches still available on the remote? If it is not
okay,
there, if it is not there on the server, why should I manage it from my local? That is one way. But other scenarios, hey, it is not there in remote, but somehow I want this to be here. So, but it's unnecessary basically, because if it is not required for your entire project, right? Why do you need it? It will create unnecessary complications. Okay,
okay.
that's the prone. Okay.
So how do we recover a deleted branch?
Once you delete it, it's deleted basically, right? But I think you still have an option to recover, but I don't think basically, because it is permanent deletion, right? From here,
Okay,
when you do it, you are deleting from the server. Okay, I don't think you can revert, take it back. Sorry, man. At least I did not do it in the recent past. Okay,
yeah,
but
that's
that's a
okay.
good question. Yeah, let me check it as well. I don't think you can get it back. I completely permanently deleted when you delete something, it is asking you, right? Delete branch.
Okay.
Branch will be deleted permanently. Okay, you can't take it back. So that's the, I
Uh,
mean, that's why your administrator is very important, right? We need to take care of those policies. Keep
Purna,
everyone into the.
you have that branch over there, right? In the local, it is showing, right? From there, like again, we cannot pull that back here.
This one you are saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, I am here. Okay, client search, right? Yeah, here. Yeah, luckily, okay. Probably this is a workaround because I did not prune basically, but I'm not sure if I
yeah,
can do the push. Let me push it. I don't think uh, if I have the changes, right? I don't think you will be able to.
yeah.
Hey, Kiran hotfix try and search release one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Successfully pushed.
Okay, this is a workaround. It
Yeah,
okay. If you don't prune it, that's a good point. Okay, I think in these scenarios probably it helps. Okay, if you unset, I mean, if you make this false, okay, basically your branch is still in your local repository. Though administrator by mistake or someone by mistake deleted from remote repository, still you have a backup here in your local repository. Yeah, that's a good point. If you don't have it here, that's it. You are gone. There is no other way. It's permanent deletion. Okay. Yeah, thanks
Okay.
for that, man. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
nice one.
Thank you. I never thought that prune will help me like this. So thank you.